So today we're talking about self-love ability, and I've just been talking to wonderful women in the academy about what it is, and there were so many different challenges, so many different thoughts, feelings, experiences about self-love, and actually very often they're mixed with self-care. And actually, to love yourself, you've got to like yourself. It's a bit like learning to walk before you can run. So you have to like yourself, and very often we don't like ourselves because we make mistakes. We make mistakes because we're human and we don't know everything. Even if we think we do, we don't. And so sometimes something happens, we're like, what did you do that for? And we start to actually hate on ourselves. And we hate on ourselves, and then we hate on ourselves a bit more, and then we're not perfect, and then we see other people outside of us who we think don't hate themselves and are perfect, and then we hate ourselves a bit more because we're not perfect and we're hating on ourselves completely. And so this shitstorm cycle is going on all the time for everyone, and please know that. So if you're comparing yourself to anybody out there that looks like they've completely got it together and think they're amazing, they're probably faking it till they make it, and they've got the same stuff going on in their heads too. So please, before you compare yourself, you don't know their entirety of any part of their life or business. So whatever you're comparing is not true. But here is the caveat. I want you to think now about what you're comparing. Just take a little step inside yourself for a moment and think about the things you do compare. Is it they've got more clients, more business, better marketing? I don't know, seem to have a better relationship, loads of friends, go out more. Just some things that I know that I hear and see. What are you comparing? Because the clue for you is in the comparison you're making, because it means there's an area of your life that you need to look at and improve. So if you're comparing it and there's friendships out there that you wish you had, then it's time for you to find out how and who to create those friendships with. If it's that somebody is more confident in their marketing, it means you want to be. It's probably not about them at all. The clue is inside you. So have a think about the things you are comparing yourself or hating on them for even. They're continuously talking about having an amazing relationship with their husband. Maybe you would prefer to have a closer relationship with yours. So they're like a reflection, it's like a mirror. This comparisonitis, this judgment that we say we don't have, but we do, we have to have. You can carry on this work after here too. I want you to also think about now whether you are the kind of person that gets your own self-worth, self-care, self-love from outside of you. So if there was all of the people in your world were loving you hard, would you love yourself, or would you still not love yourself? Because sometimes, as we established earlier, you won't let the love in, even if it's coming towards you. Somebody could be loving you, but you won't let it be felt. And I want you to think of the time when maybe you've loved somebody and they haven't let you in. How frustrating that is. And sometimes you could be doing that. You could do it all the time. You could be with certain people. Because of course, as we get older, we lose trust, we get hurt, we get injured, we decide we're not going to trust, we decide we're not going to let people in. And actually by doing that, what we're saying is, we think we're protecting ourselves, we think that self-love is protection, boundaries, but actually what we're doing is stopping ourselves from feeling the entire love, exactly what we should and would naturally have. So have a think about when someone loves you, how it feels. I want you to really now imagine that that's coming towards you as strongly as it can. Someone who loves you unconditionally, be it a child, a parent, a partner, a friend, a client, because there will be somebody. Whether you let it in or not is another thing. But I want you to imagine that love coming towards you now. I want you to imagine that so powerfully, as if it's coming at you continuously. How does that feel? How does that feel in your body? How does it feel in your heart? In your mind? When that energy arrives with you? What difference does it make in your everyday life? Who does that make you? I want you to now imagine that that person is standing in front of you. Even if they have passed on from this world, they can still be in front of you right now. That person who unconditionally loved you and you felt it and you allowed it. And if you haven't got that person, imagine what that person would be and how it would feel and have them in front of you too. I want you to just imagine them in their entirety in front of you. If you can visualize it or feel it, as if they're looking directly at you. And as they look directly at you, I want you to read their mind. And if you can't, then you can ask them. Ask them what it is they love about you. What do they love about you? What makes you so lovable? You can ask them questions. You're not allowed to argue with it, by the way, because you will. I want you to also then put a camera in their hand, or a phone, or a video, whatever you fancy, for them to take a photo of it so they can point out if there's physical things they love about you too, as well as energetic, emotional, mind. And I wonder if other people love those things about you too, the things you take for granted because they make you you and you're used to them. Maybe you're used to your level of care that you give others, the compassion, how kind you can be, even how honest you can be, even how bitchy you can be. We all like a good bitch every now and then. Maybe it's because you swear, maybe because you don't swear, maybe it's because of your beliefs, maybe your religion. Maybe they respect you and admire you. You can write down all of those things because they're true. You just don't see them because they've been yours for so long. You take them for granted. And then I want you to move in your mind and step into being that person, to feel about you as they do, to talk about you as they do, to have the compassion and care for you as they do. I want you to be inside them and act as if you have it too now. Imagine how it would feel to have that level of love for you that they have, or had, or still have. If you respected and trusted and cared for, appreciated, admired you in the same way that they do. What difference will it make in your life? What assumptions will you make when people comment? What response will you make? How will you show up in friendships, in your business? I want you to also think about now the level of protection that that person offers you or has offered you. And if you could offer that to yourself, therefore never allowing anyone to treat you badly. Always holding firm that ultimate care and love is the only thing you're going to accept, actually, from all the people around you, because there's a lot of people out there in the world. And by you loving yourself and giving them the guidelines of how to do it, they're more likely to know too. You are teaching them how to love you. And you're doing that already, so maybe do it right. Give them the right boundaries, the right guidelines, the right level of self-love for them to give back to you. You might even teach them how to love themselves too, because most people can't and don't. Just imagine the difference it will make in your life from this moment forward if you unconditionally loved and accepted everything about yourself. The darker sides of your personality, maybe, because they're real, they make you you. The wrinkles, the stretch marks, the grey hairs, the inability to do a live video without tutting. I don't know, whatever it is that you believe about yourself that no one else sees, by the way. They'll see different things based on their own judgment, by the way. I was watching a public speaker and my wife was watching with me, and all I could notice was the same word he kept saying, and all she noticed was him tut. So we were both watching the same thing and had a thing that we didn't like. So you can never please everybody. And if you want to take this a step further, I want you to imagine yourself now as a child. That child that needs love, that needs care, that needs compassion, that needs fun, that needs laughter, everything. If you had a child, and you may have, in which case this might be easier, what you would give to that child, how you would look after and nurture that child. And if it's easier for you to use that as a methodology, love yourself like a child you love unconditionally. Accept yourself, forgive yourself, praise yourself. Talk to yourself like that inner child that needs love and understanding. Because it doesn't matter who you are, you need it. You wouldn't dream of your 5-year-old coming to you crying because somebody hurt them and you going, what on earth are you crying for? Get back out there, get on with it. You'd hug them, tell them it was okay and that you love them and that it was normal to feel that way. And it is. And so for you too. If you've got any problems with this, you know where I am. Because you all deserve it. Everyone does.